Brothers, sisters, and friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace and mercy be upon you all. Today, let me talk to you about one of the biggest misconceptions about the Quran. Non-Muslims never stop attacking Islam or Quran in many aspects, whether it's historical or scientific, and trying to tell us that the Quran has contradictions. One of the biggest or famous contradiction they used to repeat is when the Quran attributes Maryam alayhi salam to Aaron the Prophet as his sister. We read that in chapter 19 when the Quran is telling us, and I quote, "O sister of Aaron, your father was not a man of evil, nor was your mother unchaste." أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أخت هارون ما كان أبوك امرأ سوء وما كانت أمك بغية. So here the Quran is telling us in a very clear language that Maryam alayhi salam is the sister of Aaron alayhi salam. So how can that be? Let me answer this and try to put an end to this question. But first I need to tell you the story of the Prophet himself, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, the Prophet Muhammad, when he was in Medina sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sent his companion Al-Mughira ibn Shu'bah to Yemen to teach them about Islam and Quran. There, the Christians of Najran came to him in Yemen. They came to him face to face, to that companion, and they posed him with this question: how does the Quran say that Maryam is the sister of Aaron when the time between them is very big? It's around 1,300 years between Aaron the Prophet and Maryam, the mother of Jesus alayhi salam. So how can the Quran is telling us that Maryam is the sister of Aaron? To answer that, I have to tell them the answer of the Prophet himself. Because this companion, Al-Mughira ibn Shu'bah, when he went back to Medina and he told the story to the Prophet about this question, the Prophet answered him the question. He told him like this, and I quote, "Could you not tell them that the Jews used to take names after their prophets and righteous people?" So what the Prophet meant is this Aaron mentioned in Maryam's story is not Aaron the Prophet. It's another Aaron, another righteous guy, used to live in the same time and era of Maryam alayhi salam. And the Jews used him to tell her as his sister. They attributed her to him. It's not, they didn't mean Aaron the Prophet. So this answer is very clear and we can never change it. We can only add our reasoning to show that the Prophet is true. So today you will hear my own reasonings. I have two main reasonings about this. Number one, the Quran never mentioned Aaron the Prophet alone. Aaron the Prophet is ever mentioned with his brother Moses. All the time connected with his brother Moses. Moses and Aaron, Moses and Aaron. Yes, the Quran mentioned Moses alone, but never Aaron alone. So why now in the story of Maryam we find Aaron alone without Moses? Think about this. The only reason is because this Aaron is not Aaron the Prophet. And number two, if the Jews were to attribute Maryam to any of their prophets, they would never skip Moses. Because Moses is their greatest prophet, he is the miracle worker, and he's the prophet who brought the Torah. And he's the prophet who spoke to God face to face. So, what made them skip Moses and attributed her to his brother Moses, to his brother Aaron? If they were if they were to attribute Maryam to any of their prophet, they would tell her, "O sister of Moses," because Moses is their greatest prophet, as I mentioned. So, to me, or if I were a Jew, it's a disgrace to Moses to skip him and choose his brother Aaron as a righteous guy, as the greatest. So, please try to think about this, because Moses and Aaron are prophets, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But that guy mentioned in Maryam's story is Aaron, as another Aaron, another righteous Aaron. And so you might ask the question, why does the Quran mention him without details? The Quran didn't tell us this Aaron is a righteous guy or not the prophet. I'm telling you, the Quran telling us the story from above, what happened to Mary and what the people told her at the time. O sister of Aaron doesn't need to tell us details whose Aaron was that. But the detail came to us from the Prophet himself. So the details about this Aaron was given to us by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He told us that this Aaron was not Aaron the Prophet, is another righteous guy, another righteous Aaron. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.